Like 215.
I think we were just muted that entire time.
Uh-oh.
I could be wrong. Cam Newton, 205 passing yards. Over under.
Under.
I'll take the under too. Joe Flacco, 208. I'll take the under.
208 for him.
208 for Joe Flacco.
I'm
over
gonna
under.
say over.
All right, passing touchdowns. I'm going to hammer both on the under here. Cam Newton passing touchdowns 1.5.
Over.
I'm going to say under. Joe Flacco 1.5 under.
Over.
Passing touchdowns tonight.
It's gonna be like 14-14. That's absolutely possible.
Passing completions 19.5 for Cam, 19.5 for Flacco. Can either of them hit over 19.5? I'm going to say under for both.
I'm gonna say under for Cam, over for Joe.
All right, fair enough. Rushing props. This is the ones that I like. Cam Newton 48.5.
Over.
Give me the over. Dame Harris 60.5. They've moved this number up. I got it at 59.5 earlier.
I'm gonna go over. He's got a lot of usage lately.
Frank Gore, can he hit
40.5? No.
I'm going to say no too. James White 9.5. I'm going to say yeah. One carry,
absolutely.
right? One carry. Rex Burkhead 25.5. According to the book, he's going to be the next man up behind Harris.
I'm gonna say under. They're gonna really feed Dame Harris.
Okay. Did we get any info on that injury report on Sony Michel? I didn't hear his name.
There was nothing on him.
He practiced this week. I'm not sure if he's going to be active or not, but he should be coming back here soon. So
that's an interesting play. Definitely keep an eye out for him. Does he have a prop?
No, he doesn't. That's why I was saying he didn't have any props, but I just know that he practiced in full on Thursday. So I was just curious. Jumping into some receiving props. Damn, they brought Braxton Berrios down. I got him at 15.5. He's down at 14.5. Give me the over. Braxton Berrios, one catch.
I'll say over, yeah.
Yeah, one catch, 16 yards. Come on. Brashad Perriman, 32.5. I'm going to say the under.
Over.
Chris Herndon, 14.5. Under.
Yeah, under.
Damiere Byrd for the Patriots, 39.5.
Over. It's going to be like 40.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see a couple of catches, 40, 45 yards. I could see it. Denzel Mims, 34.4. Under.
Under.
Jacoby Myers, 53.5. Under.
Who's Jacoby Myers?
For the Patriots, receiver.
I'm going to say under.
James White, 28.5. Over, under receiving. I'm going to say over.
Over.
Jamison Crowder, active, 54.5.
Over.
Yeah, he should probably hit the over. It's probably just literally all Crowder tonight, right? Probably all Crowder and Flacco. Mm-hmm. About all they can do. Rex Burkhead, 12.5. I'll take the over.
Over.
You want to pull up any Thrive?
Sure. I'll see if I can get.
We're not doing any DFS or Thrive tonight. I mean, we're not trying to lose all of our money. God knows what we're going to get out of this game. It's going to be a shit show. I don't expect a ton of points. Let me see if I can give you guys some first half totals. Maybe you can give some value for the first half. See here.
All right, you ready?
Because who knows if you even want to watch all this game, right? I mean, at the end of the night, you're going to want to pack this in at 9, 10 o'clock. Let's see. First half. Over under 21 game total points. I'll take the under there. I think that's some good value. Can the Jets hold a 6-point cover within the first half? They might. I don't know. If they could get 13-7 Patriots at the end of the first half. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know. I don't love it. Believe me, I don't love it. But if trying to think like you guys might think, can the Jets by halftime have over 7.5 points? I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no.
Fuck them. Stupid Jets. Joe Flacco. Get out of here, man. I don't even know what this dude thinks he's doing. Still thinking he can play.
You ready for Thrive?
Yeah, what do you got? Hit me.
All right. Cam Newton.
Hit me with the Thrive.
Cam Newton over under 201.5 for passing yards.
Oh, we said over. I'm going to say over.
Okay. Cam Newton 23.5 completions.
Under.
Okay. Dame Harris 50.5 rushing yards.
Definitely over.
Over. Damian Harris, anytime rushing touchdown.
Yes, give me that.
Damiere Byrd, 41.5 reception yards.
We literally said 40 to 45 just 4 seconds ago. So I'm going to say under by just a hair. He hits the 43.5. Well, you can't hit a half a yard.
5 receptions.
For who?
Damiere Byrd.
Oh, gosh. Give me the over. Give me 3 catches.
Jacoby Myers, 47.5 receiving yards.
Nah.
And then Jacoby Myers, anytime receiving touchdown.
Nah.
I'm going to say yes.
You like Myers? Myers?
Well, I'm going to say he's going to get a random, red zone target.
All right.
Rex Burkhead, 20.5 rushing yards.
Rushing? No.
And then Joe Flacco, 200.5 passing yards. I'm going to say over.
Nah. No, not for me.
2.5 passing TDs or interception.
For who?
Joe Flacco.
Hits the under still. Doesn't throw 2 interceptions. He hit 1 passing touchdown. Oh, wait. No, 1 and 2 works. Damn it. Yeah, give me just 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception for Flacco.
Frank Gore, 34.5 rushing yards.
Oh, man. I'll take the over.
Frank Gore, anytime touchdown, receiving or rushing.
Nah. Who do you think could get a touchdown for the Jets? Could Crowder get it? I feel like he's going to. Rashad Perriman. I feel like anyone's coming down with this. It's my boy Berrios.
There's nothing for Berrios. Michael Pirine, 36.5 rushing yards.
No.
Denzel Mims, 37.5 receiving yards.
No.
Jameson Crowder, 5.5 receptions.
Sure.
And then, Jameson Crowder, 49.5 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take it.
That's it.
I'll take it. All right, cool. All right, let's jump into some of our game reviews here. Just quickly touching on some, injuries, some guys that are a little beat up right now. Our guy, Alberto.
Oh, season's over. Sorry, guys.
Season is over. That sucked. It was like Noah Fant got hurt, and then Alberto got hurt. It was like, what the hell? Like,
yeah.
Bing, bang, boom. Noah Fant did come back in that game, so that was nice to see, but Noah Fant's going to be out, so I don't think you're firing up a Nick Vanette in fantasy, but just something to monitor. I was an Alberto owner. I had him locking up behind Noah Fant. It's not going to work out for me. Going to be dropping him. Kyle Allen. Yikes. What happened there?
Man, I don't know. It's just
Alex Smith time.
Yeah. So did you see the injury that happened with that? Yeah, that was. Do you think it was intentional?
I don't know.
I think it was more like Jabril Pepper stuck his leg out based on what I saw, but it was a very bad injury because you just saw his foot turn. It was like the bone just came separated. Oh, yeah. It was real bad.
Very reminiscent of his backup.
It's really sad that Dwayne Haskins didn't get put in. It was Alex Smith who was put in.
He's the backup.
I understand.
It's not that sad. He's the backup, right?
I mean, he threw 3 interceptions. Did you see that too?
Threw a touchdown.
3 interceptions. That's but the kind of game that got Haskins benched forever.
Well, I think we've talked about this. You're just trying to suck me in, damn it. You're just trying to suck me in.
I'm just saying.
You're just trying to suck me into all this Alex Smith love that I have. That's all.
No, I really do respect Alex Smith and what he's done. And
I'm just
come back.
Yeah, just between the two of them, like we know which one of them is like a leader in the locker room and which one isn't. Like we know that's the reason why a dude with 1.5 legs is the quarterback and why Haskins is inactive every week.
Yeah.
Like that's why. And he was saying, did you see my numbers? Did you see my stats?
I understand, man.
Damn, that box score is lit. I'm posting that shit on Instagram. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right.
Fortnite tonight, boys.
Yeah. I am just going to say that the Redskins have a very bad luck at quarterback. I hope that everybody comes back healthy. But it's really sad. It's going to be a rough rest of the year for them.
We'll see. I think at least Haskins is going to be active going forward. But a couple other ones here. David Johnson for the Texans got pulled out of that game with concussion. Not a great situation for the Texans. Going to be firing up a lot of Duke Johnson off the waivers. Christian McCaffrey, man, looked great. He came back. Panthers looked awesome. Now he injures his shoulder. It's terrible. Hopefully he can make a go of it week 10. I believe they got the Buccaneers up. It's going to be a tough test. Jack Doyle back in a concussion protocol. When is Jack Doyle not in concussion protocol? And my guy David Montgomery in concussion protocol. Barely got to do anything this week. We'll get to that in a little bit. Titans killing me. Bears killing me. David Montgomery in concussion protocol. Are we firing up some Ryan Nall in waivers this week? Oh my God.
Absolutely not.
Scored a touchdown.
I don't care.
All right, let's jump into the games here. First up, the Buccaneers and the Saints. Wow, what happened? Everyone on ESPN calling for the Bucs. I picked the Bucs. They burned down a ticket for me. Your word for them, the Buccaneers?
A mirage.
A mirage. Hey, look over there. Look, it's water. Our salvation. It's not. It's the Buccaneers. It's our despair.
I mean, they had this whole super team coming out, and that's the thing about the NFL. There's no such thing as a super team because there has to be 11 guys on each side of the ball that have to do their jobs in sync on every play. That's not going to happen. But if you just bring in guys that don't exactly fit your system, like I feel like Leonard Fournette is not a fit for that system.
No.
Antonio Brown, I feel like he's just making that wide receiver more crowded. It's very sad, and I'm not going to put any more stock into the Buccaneers for this season because they got their asses handed to them by a division opponent. It's going to be a rough go. They might make the playoffs, but they're not going to go anywhere, I feel.
Yeah, I mean they're a team that just leaves you like scratching your head, right? Buccaneers come out last week firing on all cylinders. Come out this week, you got Antonio Brown, another weapon there. You got Chris Godwin back, another weapon there. It's kind of like the 3 = 0, right? Like if you have 3 stud number 1 receivers, you have 0. If you have 2 stud running backs, you have 0. You have to have an identity, in this league. And I feel like that's the situation with Tampa Bay. I thought it was an interesting anecdote. I'm, like me and Nick are talking earlier, like, man, how did Antonio Brown like already ruin this? Like, what has he done? And Nick quickly reminded me, he lives with Tom Brady. Like,
imagine how awkward, like, I don't know, like that.
Good night, Giselle. Good night, Tom.
Yeah. It's just weird. And like, I don't know, like, I feel like that's going to help keep him in line because Tom is in his own bubble.
Yeah.
But like, it didn't show on the field, like, oh man, those guys are definitely like building chemistry.
In tune, in the backyard playing catch.
Yeah, absolutely not. Like, they looked very out of sync offensively. They did. Whatever. I don't care about
one of Tom's interceptions came off of a big miscommunication between him and Brown. Brady was having him on a go route. Brown, does a cutback and it's picked. It was just like it was bang, bang, bang. I think it may have been the drive after they couldn't score on 4 attempts at the 1-yard line. The Buccaneers also broke the record for the single game least amount of rush attempts. It was 5. It's 4 now. Thanks to the Buccaneers. 2020.
You
run the ball, Arians.
You want to know how successful that plan was of not rushing the ball? It was Tom Brady got me negative points. I would have been better starting Gardner Minshew, who is actually hurt. Think about that. That's absolutely pitiful. You set the record for least rushing attempts, and you did absolutely nothing with those attempts that you were given extra,
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. And man, I have just never seen Tom look so damn defeated.
Yeah.
Like he just looked like when he went in at halftime, it wasn't like, all right, let's jog this off, take it to the locker room, figure this out. No, it was, nope, pack it in. We're done. Is it week 10 yet? Is it week 10? I'm done with this shit. Take the record this week, Breeze. Take the record this week. I'll see you in week 10. Like it was like he was already watching film for next week. I've never seen Tom Brady pack it in that early. I just haven't. I don't know what it is. Mike Evans completely getting shut out. Like what's that all about? What's with the Marshawn Lattimore thing?
You kind of called it though. You did say. I don't know. You guess you said off camera that he was going to struggle the most with Antonio Brown coming in.
Yeah, because he also doesn't care. Like Mike Evans. One thing wants to win. Arian said last night, like, oh, Lattimore wasn't locking him down. He was open. Evans was open. Tom just wasn't getting him the ball. He didn't have time. Like, I don't buy any of that. That's ridiculous. If you look at, the last 3 starts, Evans versus Lattimore, 2 targets. Goose egg. Bro, he's got your number. So going forward, I'm not starting Mike Evans versus Marshawn Lattimore.
I saw the same. I saw
not going to do that
of Antonio Brown against Lattimore, and they were on the opposite side of the spectrum with like high numbers. And I thought you could cash in on these guys this week with Lattimore, with Antonio Brown dominating him. Absolutely nothing though. Like I just saw like some hit routes, saw some out routes, and you never really got into any kind of rhythm. And
he didn't really. He played a good amount. What was it? 39 snaps, 78%. That's a majority of the game. Like he's right in the thick of it with Godwin and Evans there. I don't have Godwin's or Evans numbers in front of me, but that's a good chunk. Yeah. You and I were talking 10 to 12, 10 to 15.
Yeah.
And we were saying he's a lock to start.
I saw him on the field a lot and it was just, I don't know, like what you saw with New England with Tom Brady and Antonio Brown, you did not see that in Tampa Bay. And it's just kind of like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it wasn't the 2019 Miami game by any stretch of the any stretch of the reality. They got the Panthers on deck next week. What do you think? I mean, Panthers come off a big win. We'll get to them in a bit, but how do you think the Bucs can fare up against Panthers? Let's say with CMC. CMC's in that game.
I'm gonna say even with CMC out, the Panthers are gonna win.
Ooh,
yeah.
I think the Buccaneers are at home. Didn't matter last night.
Don't care. Don't care.
Let me see if I have the spread up for that one, just to see if do they not have the spread up for that actually?
Probably don't have it up yet.
No, they should. I guess they don't. They only have up Thursday. Interesting. They did earlier. Anyways, not sure the spread there. I'll still probably be leaning towards the Buccaneers in a get right game, but I'll take the over. That's for sure.
I will take the over on it.
As long as there isn't a hurricane in the middle of Tampa Bay still,
I don't know. I thought it was going to be the over for this game as well, and Tom absolutely shit the bed for me. So
literally, they needed I think a touchdown.
For what?
To hit the over. They were at 40. Yeah. They were at 41 points already without the Buccaneers scoring a touchdown.
I thought they were at 31. I thought it was a 31-0 win.
31-3 or 38. I thought it was 38-3.
We have it up.
I don't know because I went to bed after the
38-3.
Yeah, I went to bed after Tom couldn't punch one at the one. So that's when I checked out. Sorry.
Joke.
Saints, they had Sanders and Thomas return. Positive money, I'd say. Sanders finding the end zone. Mike Thomas, he had like 10 fantasy points. It's not terrible for his first week back. And
Tre'Quan Smith scored Patriot.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. It was like in the back of the end zone. He caught it.
What a bastard!
Yeah, I was kind of mad. I was kind of talking down on him. I was like, "Oh man, here we go."
Yeah, it's just really annoying. Like when you expect, like, "Oh, Mike Thomas is back. Probably grab a touchdown." It would have been really nice for me for our season-long prop. Yeah, I got Mike Thomas. You got DeAndre Hopkins. Emron's got Kenny Galladay. I think you're in lead by 3-1-0. Is that right? Kenny Galladay has
race
one.
Race to the snails. It's a race to the snails.
Kenny Galladay has 1 or 2.
Yep. I think it's 1.
So the race is at 3-1-0 to Mike Thomas.
Here we go, guys.
Let's go, Mike Thomas. Let's go. Fire it up.
Get it.
Fire it up. Kamara had a season-low amount of touches in this game. A little interesting.
Unbelievable. I don't understand that. I had him in my DFS as a captain. I thought it was a lock lineup, and he just absolutely just killed me.
The weapons are back, right? Like Thomas and Sanders both back, being able to spread that ball around. Marquez Galloway, darling of a few weeks ago, it's like 2 catches, 2 targets, like for 11 yards. He's down.
He's coming off injury.
He's back down to the Josh Hill territory. Yeah, I just mean like the room's filled now. Like with all these guys there. What do you expect on going forward? Do you like Kamara or Mike Thomas the rest of the season? Who scores more fantasy points?
I'm gonna say Kamara is gonna score more.
Keep it simple there, right?
But also, who I really like though? Taysom Hill. He got a nice little pass in and a nice little catch.
Taysom Hill coming off a back-to-back 10-plus point fantasy weeks.
Unbelievable.
He's on my waiver wire ad this week.
In DFS, he's always worth like $200. So yeah, he'd be a good one to put in there.
The value.
So, yeah, get that. Hey Leo, just saying hi. Thank you for tuning in.
No, it was fun in the sense that Tom just got washed up. Like the memes afterward were great. Like the next morning, all the memes from that game, they were pretty solid. I enjoyed those. Drew Brees holding baby Tom. That was one of my favorites. That was one of my faves. But yeah, I hope to get more out of the Bucs next week. Saints on the road up against the 49ers. I think that's going to be a lock for them. It should be a pretty easy win. No. Saints are on the road.
Yeah. For the 49ers, yeah, because they're struggling.
Yeah, they are ripped. Speaking of ripped, how about Kyler Murray getting that ball ripped out of his hands? It's literally like the only thing that the Arizona Cardinals did wrong in this game, losing 34-31 up against Tua Tagovailoa, who is now 2-0 in this league. Do you trust Tua going forward? Can you add him? Can you put him on the bench at least?
I think it's absolutely possible to add him. He is improving week by week. There's nothing you can do about it. The stats are there.
2 passing touchdowns.
I need Devontae Parker to get a little bit more yardage for me. I think it's a 6-yard lead that you now have with this.
DJ Shark,
coming back from the dead,
booming,
unbelievable.
Jake Luton season,
unbelievable,
going off. Yeah, we'll get to that, but yeah, Devontae Parker. I mean, Preston Williams
sucks.
He's hurt. He was carted off. I don't know any type of reading on it whatsoever.
No.
Short term, long term. But it doesn't suck for Devontae Parker.
Yes.
Probably going to get a few more touches, a few more targets there. Is there anyone else that you like from this game? Salvin Ahmed for the Dolphins?
I was looking because I had Jordan Howard playing, and I saw S. Ahmed, and I was like, who the F is this guy? Like, where is this guy coming from? It's just, I guess he's a play that you can do as well because I think he had more carries than Jordan Howard.
He had 7 carries to Jordan Howard's 10, but Jordan Howard had 10 carries for 19 rushing yards.
Goal line
exactly. He's the goal line guy. He had the rushing touchdown. He got it. But yeah, 10 for 19. Salvin Ahmed, 7 for 38. to Tua Tagovailoa's 7 for 35. Salvon Ahmed could be the answer to some of your running back issues. If you have buys, injured guys, maybe you're a David Johnson owner, losing a guy like that out of your lineup.
Replacing Myles Gaskin.
Replacing Myles Gaskin. Absolutely. Good call. So yeah, definitely someone that you guys want to check out on the waiver wire. Any of these receivers like Jakeem Grant, he had 4 catches, 35 yards. Can you fire up some Jakeem Grant on the waivers, maybe 14-team league, something deep?
I think you can, because with the same reason I like Steven Sims Jr. of the Washington football team, I like Jakeem Grant because he has shown that he's that deep threat in Miami, and he also does do the kick and punt returns there, so he can get that random touchdown. That'll be like a random 10-point gain, and you're sitting there and be like, oh man, he was real cheap off waivers probably. I like him too. The other guy that I like, but it hasn't been booming for me, is Mike Gesicki. 3 for 42. He's got to start building some chemistry with Tua because Tua's the guy now. Fitzpatrick's out. Sorry, Fitzpatrick. I wish you were in. I wish you were traded. But yeah,
I feel the same way. Is there one of these guys that you think can really go off in the box score next week up against the Chargers for the Dolphins? Maybe Gesicki, Devontae Parker. Do you need? Well, I guess you're going to need it. I'm going to need it too. We're going to need our guys to go big for us between Parker and Shark going forward. But yeah, I could see that. Chargers, not playing that great on defense. I think there's going to be some positive efficiency here for these Dolphins in week 10. What about the Cardinals? I mean, literally, like Kyler Murray played a perfect game. They're missing Kenyon Drake. Chase Edmond didn't do a whole lot. 25 for 70, 25 carries, 70 rushing yards, 3 catches, 18 yards. Not great. Kyler Murray carrying the load, 11 carries, 106 rushing yards, 283 passing yards, and 3 passing touchdowns with a rushing touchdown. If he doesn't fumble that ball and the Dolphins don't score that touchdown, the Cardinals win. Like, I really don't understand it. What really upsets me is Kyler Murray after the fact, coming out saying, oh, we don't need to worry about the winning the division. That's bullshit. Muttering through his words, can't finish his sentences, saying, I don't know. I just don't like that.
He's a bad interview. I think he's
who's worse, Kyler Murray or like pre-Derrick Rose, pre-MVP Derrick Rose?
I think Kyler Murray is real bad because
D Rose.
I don't know. I didn't really see D Rose before the interviews. I read a lot of his interviews. But Kyler Murray, I definitely believe he's coached by somebody in the background. I think it's probably his dad, but there was a thing where he was at spring training and they were asking, oh, do you want to play football or do you want to play baseball? He's like, oh, I want to play baseball. And they're like, oh, do you know when the draft is? He's like, I don't know. And they were like, when is spring training? He gave the date like right away. So like, it's very strange how he interviews, but it's just background info. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel you. Yeah, Cardinals look great. They look good. I didn't really understand it.
Unbalanced attack, because if you look at it, they rushed 25 times with Chase Edmonds for 70 yards, but that's not like a successful rushing attack. That's just like pounding the ball with dives and stuff.
They had to have rushed their more than their opponent, though. Yeah, 37 to 25.
106 came from Kyler. They're depending on like his scrambling ability to kind of
one of the leading rushers in the NFL right now.
That's not a good thing. Like
it's not great.
It's not a good thing with how your style of your play is. Like with Lamar being
I was just about to say, you're not the Ravens. Like, yeah, don't kid yourself.
It's a very different style of play. They don't expect to have 3 receivers out at all times. They're a rushing attack. But this is not a balanced play. It does look like, Cliff is Kyler's dad.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's completely feeding him. But a lot of them too is just breakdowns. I mean, just the line isn't there. Their offensive line isn't amazing. And this year, instead of Kyler taking sacks, he's going beyond the line of scrimmage, and he's making more of his opportunities outside the numbers. I mean, when you watch this guy, being able to break tackles and just use his ability of misdirection on linebackers, DBs once he gets loose, like it's really beautiful. He's really, really a good runner. But again, it should not be their focus, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what that means is line's breaking down and no one's getting open, and he just has to improvise. And I'm just not sure how much longer it's going to last. I mean, we're seeing really reminiscence of Lamar Jackson last year. I mean, Kyler Murray is out rushing Lamar Jackson. And if you had told me that, pre-week 1, I would have said you're crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have said you're nuts. I do see my under over there for Lamar's season-long rushing yards. No big deal. I hammered the under there. He's definitely going to still hit that under. He's got a nice stretch of back run games, but man, this stretch has been rough.
The problem with Kyler Murray is his height, and that's been his problem since he's come in. The thing with his height is that he cannot see over his line. So Cliff Kingsbury is saying, throw it to X, throw it to Y.
And that breakdown is coming so fast that it's like, whoop. Why throw isn't happening?
Yep. Cliff is literally saying to him, if you don't see your first guy, run. And you're seeing him improvise, and it looks cool that he's running for 100 yards, but that's a lot of damage for a small person to be taking in the NFL. I do not see this being a sustainable model in Arizona if this does not improve. I don't think Kyler's smart enough to, and no offense, he's smarter than me, but he cannot be able to.
You're taller though. You're taller,
barely by like an inch.
But he can't deny you that.
But he's not able to go through his progressions to actually be a quarterback and make those decisions real time. He's being told by somebody in his ear saying, "You got to throw to this guy. If this guy's not open, you're running." That's not sustainable. Robert Griffin was very similar to that.
Cam Newton was his first year as well. They did have a couple.
But he's way bigger.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They did have a couple of set design run plays for Kyler. Like there were like 2 or 3 like set hut. We're going. We're off. This isn't even a draw. This is just snap and run. And I'm not going to lie. Like those play calls did look good. He was taking them for 8, 11, 6 yards. Like they were not bad. But again, that should not be your focus. And to me, it comes from Kenyon Drake being out, because when you do have him there, they didn't even use Benjamin whatsoever. I was talking about him. They couldn't even get the dude damn snap. Maybe they gave him a snap. They didn't let him touch the ball. But regardless, they didn't spread it out whatsoever. They didn't really try anything different there. It was like, well, is it there for Edmonds? No. Is it there for Murray? A little bit. Yeah, quite a bit, actually. They still rushed for 178 yards on the ground. Not terrible, but at the same time, it didn't get them the win. To me, the biggest factor in this game is just Kyler Murray making that one mistake. He loses that ball. Dolphins score a touchdown on defense. That's it. And that was early on. The Cardinals were playing catch up in this one. It was just too little, too late. Just early, and that was it. It just really, you could tell in the game and the pace of play, like, man, Dolphins are probably going to take this one. Cards just don't have it. Like I just didn't get it. On deck, who do they have here? Oh, Bills on deck for the Cardinals.
Not a good thing.
Not a great thing. The Bills, we got at the bottom of the show here, but Bills, man, they were looking real good this week.
Take the over. Both defenses allow like 30 points a game.
55, 56, hammer this over. It's going to probably be opening at 55. But yeah, I'm going to be liking the Cardinals odds there. The Bills, they're coming off a big win, but I'm not sure who the home team is there. I'll have to check. If the Bills are traveling, it could be a little bit closer than we think. Next up, how about them Steelers and Cowboys?
That was an awesome game to watch.
Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, I
wasn't expecting that.
No, not at all.
I'm really glad I stayed away from gambling on a game like that, because again, the books just ruin the value. Minus $1 billion for the Steelers, 20-point spread. I mean, it wasn't that; it was like 14, but still, like it felt like that when looking at it. It's just like, come on, like give me something here. Give me something to jump in.
Dallas was they had nothing to lose, man. They had like a throwback that was almost a touchdown. That was called back by a penalty. It was wild to watch. I was very excited to watch it happen. The best runner though in there is Tony Pollard. I might switch out because I have him as a handcuff in my league. I might switch him out for Ezekiel Elliott because he looks really good. He's part of the game plan. He's there to spell Zeke. And I believe that the more that Dallas loses, the more that they're going to keep Zeke off the field because they're probably thinking, just wait till next year.
Yep. Yeah, just pack it in. I could absolutely see that. Biggest takeaway from the game, I mean, Cowboys got a quarterback? No?
No, I'm not saying that.
They got something better than Danucci. This was a huge upgrade.
The only receiver that really benefited from it was CeeDee Lamb. And that's not how their offense was designed to work. They have 3 guys that can legitimately be number 1 receivers in the league. And
Amari Cooper, 5 catches for 67 yards. That's a far cry from what I thought he was going to get.
I'm expecting like 90 to 100 yards every game from Amari Cooper. That is the minimum for me.
I was expecting like 2 for 25. So this is not that bad in my eyes.
Completely understand. I expect high things from Amari.
Oh yeah,
he's an elite receiver, and I think he does it very quietly.
Yeah, where you drafted him, yeah. I mean, you need him to produce right there. But, yeah, I mean, I liked what I saw from Tony Pollard. Been liking what I've seen. He just looks electric. He looks more fit.
He wants to play.
He didn't have COVID.
Yeah.
It's all positives really. Starting him over Elliott, I'm gonna need something to happen. I'm gonna need another little tweak of an injury or something, or just something the Cowboys are saying like, yeah, we're gonna just pull back the leash here. We're gonna pull back the workload on this dude because we're packing it in, or maybe they want a better draft pick. Improve that top 10 pick, right? Get another weapon for Dak. Probably not though. Probably gonna get something on defense, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
probably going to get something on defense with
maybe
that
defensive back
with that top pick. But I mean, Gilbert made everybody fantasy viable. I felt, and that's what I mean. Like they got a quarterback,
gave hope.
Yeah, exactly, and that's realistically. I mean, shit in fantasy, that's all you need. I mean, my God, I mean, these guys. I mean, we were writing them all off. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a good week to sit Cooper versus like some other options, most likely in your league. But at the same time, like. A lot of leagues, you cannot sit Amari Cooper. 14-team league, 16-team league. You're not sitting Amari Cooper. You just don't have the depth to do it. So the Vikings on deck for the Cowboys. Can they get a win?
No. Dalvin Cook is coming on strong. I think that they're just going to keep doing that because that's like a working formula for them. I think that's like the perfect model for Kirk Cousins. So I don't think that.
Don't throw a lot.
Yeah. Handoff. You're a great handoff guy, Kirk.
How about the Steelers? Man, rough start. They got together, but it was a rough start. I mean, Mason Rudolph made it into this game. I'm not sure I'm not actually sure what injury Ben left with, but he wasn't gone back. Yeah, he came back. He wasn't gone long. But man, like Rudolph, I mean, 2 for 3 for 3 passing yards. It was getting ugly really quick. I think he killed one drive, and then there was like a long drive by the Cowboys. They had scored, and then Roethlisberger was able to come back, was able to cut it up. I
would like to hear Mike Tomlin mic'd up during Mason Rudolph's drives, be like, "Oh God." All right, get the kid out. We're just gonna do Wildcat. Like I see him definitely.
Deontay, you're a quarterback now.
Exactly. Like I like. Oh God, where's Antoine Randall out? Like remember that guy? He was a quarterback. Like
Hines Ward could throw.
Yeah, too. So
Super Bowl baby.
Yeah, I remember that stuff. But
let's go.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph. He's not the guy to lead the team. You know what? I see the Steelers either acquiring a young quarterback, maybe Sam Darnold, Dwayne Haskins, that kind of ilk, or drafting a quarterback because Big Ben only probably has
a year
or two.
And realistically, like you need your guy there now. This is an 8-0 football team, and shame on the Steelers for not having a viable backup to Big Ben right now because he goes down.
You're screwed.
Fucked. Capital F. Yeah, it's going to be really bad if that's the case, but I'm not going to wish that upon them.
Oh, no, I definitely don't wish that upon them, but need to start thinking about the future in that.
James Conner absolutely disappeared. A complete disappoint for folks. 9 carries, 22 yards. I do expect a bounce back week from him in week 10. I just think that they just didn't need a bunch from him. They did not need him in this game. I mean, they only won by 8, so it's kind of tough to say, but the receivers taking care of business. Shout out to Tommy Two Socks calling out Chase Claypool, solid to go for the rest of the way.
There we go.
It was getting some back and forth on the Facebook there, getting some back and forth, engagement. Oh, I don't need to start him. I'm in a 12 league. I'm in a 12-team league. I have Adam Thielen, Amari Cooper, and some other really good wide receiver, Will Fuller, and this guy. Like, okay, great. You got a billion good receivers. Congratulations. You don't have to start Chase Claypool. But for most of us in deeper leagues, like this is great value here. Led the team in receiving, 8 for 69, and he started off this game slow. Mm-hmm. He was barely doing much in the first half. Really came alive. They rely on this guy. And Deontay Johnson and Juju got it done as well. Eric Ebron got a touchdown.
Hell yeah.
Taking care of business.
Start coming in strong. It was a red zone target too. And man, he hopped over that guy too and just strolled right in. Like, oh man, I'm excited to see him play.
Steelers 8-0. When do you think they can get their first loss? Let me see if I have their schedule pulled up here. Next week, let me see who they have on deck. Next week, they got the Bengals. I'm going to say they probably win.
Bengals are going to fight, though.
Yeah, Bengals are going to cover. That's what the Bengals
I
do.
Can see that happen.
Good teams win. Great teams cover.
And then they're coming to Bengals too, I think.
Oh, we're throwing 60 times. 60 times, y'all. I'm trying to get their schedule. All right, so Bengals, Jaguars, Dubs. They got the Ravens again. Can they beat the Ravens at home?
I'm going to say no because, man, what week is that? 10?
Ooh, it's going to be November 26th, Thanksgiving.
Oh, but what week is it? Because
week 12.
So that's 12 straight weeks of football, and I think that they're going to be a little tired. They're going to be, and Ravens are pissed that they lost to them already. So I think that the Ravens are going to come back.
So we're giving them an L with the Ravens.
Yep.
So that's one. Football team after that. That's a dub.
Easy.
Bills after that on the road.
Ooh.
Just to give another loss. We'll just call it some chalk.
I'm gonna say loss. Yep.
Okay, so that's like what, 13 or 12-2 or something. Like the Bengals again.
Get the 32nd pick, Steelers. Deal with it.
So the Bengals again win.
Win, yeah.
The Colts. We'll just say a loss.
Okay, sure.
The Browns on the road win. Okay, so that's 13-3. Pretty good season, Mike Tomlin. Pretty good.
I love Mike Tomlin. He's good.
12-4, 13-3. That's what you're going to be looking at from the Steelers at bare minimum. Any confidence to run the table?
No, I don't have any confidence in running a table just because they're playing 14 straight weeks football, man. That's a lot of damage and not a lot of recuperation time for them. And they're playing Thursday night games, Monday games, Sunday games. Like their shit's all out of whack. So they got to lose one of these games. I think it's going to be against the Ravens, though.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something there. Donnie checking into the chat. Good evening, sir. Happy Monday to you, sir. Moving on here. Next up, we got the Raiders and the Chargers. Such a fun game. This game was awesome. Parham drops the ball in the end zone. The Chargers just cannot get a win here. Every loss this season has been within one possession. Like Justin Herbert's talent just going to absolute waste. He's going to win Rookie of the Year. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
you can bang the Joe Burrow drum as loud as you want. I don't care. Joe Burrow could go to the playoffs, somehow make it there. Herbert would still be the dude. Like, I'm sorry. Like Herbert has he's the MVP of that team. If he doesn't win team MVP at the end of the year at the team banquet with his parents there, like I'm going to be pissed. I want an invite. I'm serious. I'm sure those parties are pretty lit. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh hell yeah, I'd be down to go.
I mean, Patriots have one every year. I mean, it's probably pretty fun.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman's still the leading receiver in yards there. He's only been out a couple of weeks. No big deal. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, Chargers, man, Raiders put one on them. I mean, we picked the Raiders to win in a close game. It was a pick 'em, no spread, pretty much a coin flip here. We both took the Raiders. It was like one of my few wins this week. Crazy week. So yeah, I mean, did we predict it? Yeah. Was I kind of secretly rooting for the Chargers at the end of the game? Yeah, I was.
Chargers. They got some good guys on the team. They just want to play some ball.
Coming to you live, the shit show just started. What are we at? 8:17 Eastern time. They're getting in early. They want to put people to bed tonight. Let the kids go to bed early. 3 minutes. This is the perfect game that just says we need the mercy rule in this sport.
This game should be rated R so the kids can't watch it.
Curtis Samuel going off the past few games. You're right, Donnie. We're gonna get to that in a bit.
Oh man, I like that.
49 passing attempts for Teddy Bridge. 3 targets to DJ Moore. May he rest in peace.
Dang, man, that sucks.
DJ Moore versus Curtis Samuel. We're going to get to that here in a little bit. But with the Chargers, I'm feeling pretty good about them next week. They got the Dolphins. I know on paper the matchup doesn't look great for Herbert, but I think that they're going to get it done. I think that's going to be a fun game. Another game where I'll be all in on the over for sure. But how about Kalen Ballage coming over to the Chargers?
What the F is that?
Justin Jackson gets hurt. They sign Ballage, and Ballage goes off.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so Ballage, another name you got to be looking at the waiver wire here. If you lost Justin Jackson, if you lost David Johnson this week, a couple other names that we brought up. If you just
Where's Pope at?
I don't know. Yeah, we were talking up Tremaine Pope. They're like, nah, we got Ballage now. Sorry.
F you.
We traded I don't know, a janitor for him to free agency or
demoted.
I was going to say who owned Ballage last? Was it the Dolphins or the Jets? I think it was the Dolphins.
The Dolphins, because the Jets thing fell through due to a physical thing. I don't know.
NFL bicycle. I don't get this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Everybody ate. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. I mean, I expect good things from them in this coming week. I think this next week, Mike Williams finds the end zone. What I like most about Herbert, he keeps everybody involved.
Yeah.
Every single receiver and tight end is a deep threat. He's literally getting who is this dude? Was it Tyler Irvin or no?
Tyron Johnson.
Did you say Von Johnson?
Tyron Johnson.
Johnson.
And then also a guy named Gabe Nabbers grabbed a touchdown. Unbelievable.
That was a beautiful play. Actually, they completely drew it up to just let Herbert get crushed. Like, hey, so Justin, you're gonna get kicked on the dick on this play, but we're gonna score a touchdown. All right, so you just put it.
Hang in there.
We're gonna give you an ice pack. It's gonna be there available on the sideline for you.
Perryman going.
Jeff Smith.
Smith.
Oh, Denzel Mims.
What?
Denzel Mims. We don't watch enough Jets games, and that's an honest statement right there.
True shit.
Yeah, Denzel Mims getting with it. Getting with it.
Tyrese Baylor receivers.
Big 12 in action. Anyways, going over to the Raiders, man, Derek Carr, kind of slow, didn't have a ton of passing yards, but did you see the flying rushing play?
Yes.
Yeah, it was just beautiful. I love me some Derek Carr. I mean, they got the dub. I'm all in on the Raiders this year. I've been banging the Raiders drum all summer long, all season long. So I love the win out of them, but fantasy wise, it wasn't that great. Derek Carr, I didn't lose that matchup starting him, but Josh Jacobs, he finds the end zone, doesn't do a lot. Devontae Booker, kind of just takes away from Jacobs' volume. Yeah, I don't think people were starting Devontae Booker. I added him, and he's a bench spot guy. He's just kind of there, just because maybe Jacobs doesn't go. We'll see. Toss it on the bench. Darren Waller doing Darren Waller things. Hunter Renfrow had a big play, 50-yarder.
No touchdown.
But yeah, it's like that's it. They really spread it around. You like Waller, you like Jacobs, and you just gotta get a really good spot for Carr.
Yeah, Carr didn't even eclipse 300 yards.
He didn't eclipse 200.
Yeah, I was about to say 200. But you got to think they're playing the football that made the Tampa Bay Buccaneers popular in the early 2000s. They're playing smash mouth football basically, and that's how their team's winning, and that's what works for them. So I feel like the receivers aren't really fantasy viable unless they score a touchdown. Like Nelson Aguilar, he has 2 receptions for 55 yards, but he got a touchdown. So you got to make your nut with the touchdown.
I like Aguilar. Aguilar still, he's all over these waiver wire guys. Like he is all over these lists. I don't understand why. You got to get this guy. I'm sorry. Like the fact that he's still available is just a crime to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I hate that. What do we think about him in Week 10 against the Broncos? Broncos just got had a song sung on him by the Falcons. I gotta like the Raiders this next coming week.
Yeah, Raiders are a more mature team. They're ready to do a playoff run.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I mean John Gruden is a great coach, though. I mean, he got that fucking ship right real fast, and
no preseason. It's crazy. With all those rookies, all the young talent that they have. You saying that they have the more experience, on paper, they probably don't, but they look it. They sure as well fucking look it. This is a team that beat the Saints. The Raiders beat the Saints, and the Saints just beat the Bucs 38-3. What's that say about I'm just saying. What's that? How many points did the Raiders beat the Bucs? What does that say for you?
I think a lot of the maturity honestly comes from Josh Jacobs because him and Nick Chubb, I can't wait for Nick Chubb to get back because he's electric. But those two guys, they run the ball like Jim Brown, and they run the ball hard. They run the ball and they bounce right back up. Like they're not scared to go against some of these top linebackers and some of these heavy hitters. They'll bounce right back up and they're getting their 100 yards and they're leading their teams. They're willing to take these guys on their back. And that's why these teams look more mature when they're in. The Browns, since Nick Chubb has been out, what have they done? They've lost 2 straight games. And Josh Jacobs has been carrying the Raiders to a winning season, and they don't need 300 yards from Derek Carr. They just need Josh Jacobs to just smash mouth football the defensive line.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was coming into that game a little bit banged up, so maybe they didn't, want to completely let him out of the house, completely let the dogs out, with Josh Jacobs there. But I think Derek Carr, leadership-wise, we were talking about off camera before about, a lot of players take on the culture and just the behavior and attitudes of their coaches, right? We were talking about the Saints just all being trash balls because they just run their mouth to everybody, like Sean Payton does to everybody. Everywhere. Anyways, with the Raiders, John Gruden, very serious guy. Derek Carr, very serious guy. Yes, sir. No, sir. If you listen to this guy in interviews, he is a very astute, yes, ma'am, no, sir, type of guy. Very serious. Will you ask me a question, I'm going to give you a direct answer type of guy. So I think that takes on a bit of it as well. And he's not a guy that's saying hey, we need to overload stats. We need to pound the ball in the air. Just a dude that's following the game plan really, really well.
He just wants to W, like Jameis Winston style.
They should have traded for Julio. I'm so pissed. The Raiders,
man, if they had Julio, it'd be a different ball game for them. They would have a balanced attack. They would not have to put so much load on Josh Jacobs. And good for Josh Jacobs, but the shelf life for running backs is 3 years, and we are in year 2 of 3 years. So
absolutely. Tommy is checking into the chat, so he's calling a big one here, Nick. He's calling a shot, and it's deep.
Uh-oh.
27-24 Jets upset. What do you think, bud? Yeah, we're not on it. We're not on it. I hope you didn't put too much money on it.
No. Sorry, Tommy. I can't get behind that.
It's gonna be a rough one. It's gonna be a rough
one. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
All right, next up, Colts versus the Ravens. Ravens, they showed up in the second half. It was a really slow start, but they got it done. They got to it, took care of business. Lamar led the team in rushing. I guess not surprised,
Classic.
right? Yeah, classic. Gus Edwards fumbled the ball in the red zone.
I did see that.
But then was able to get a red zone touchdown. So it was not too bad, not too bad. What did Dobbins do? I thought he had an okay game, like not great. He had like 12 fantasy points or something.
12 attempts for 30 yards, 2 receptions for 5 yards. So not a game.
Yeah, you need those catches up. You need those catches up. Des Bryant does nothing. He plays like 2 snaps. It wasn't a thing, right? Like it wasn't even like worth talking about after the fact. No passing touchdowns for Lamar. Marquise Brown, sorry, buddy, you didn't get your way. We said as much. That is not how you get fed the ball. You got to go and have a sit down, brother. You got to go have a sit down, a nice little talk, a little chat, a little cup of tea, a little cup of Joe. Talk it out, break bread.
He tied with Mark Andrews for most targets. So
blah. End zone, nah. How many catches did he have?
It was 5 targets for 3 catches for 38 yards.
Blah.
Yeah.
Blah.
Absolutely blah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying he had a good game, but
the last game he had 1 catch for 3 yards and a touchdown. So it's an improvement. But
Devontae Parker games.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hey, I would have taken the Devontae Parker game this week for Marquise Brown. Devontae Parker, 6 for 60, 6 for 64. Hey, that'd been beautiful. That'd been great. I just hope that Des Bryant continues to kind of come along into this game plan, get some more touches, gets on the field. They need a weapon. They need another weapon at receiver. Again, another team. Why didn't you trade for a receiver? Why?
Yeah.
Why didn't you do it? I don't get it.
They got to get Mark Andrews involved more.
I agree.
3 for 22. I mean, come on, man. You're in the red zone. He's a big target. Like, use his ass. Like,
at least the Colts had like Darius Leonard down there, like at least solid, respectable linebacker to maybe kind of give some logic to that this week. Mm-hmm. But going forward, yeah, we need to start seeing some like 2 touchdown games for Mark Andrews, like 8 catches, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He has the skill. I don't get it. Like, he definitely is a great receiver. Maybe he's not blocking well enough for you, Lamar.
I think, you called it on the last episode with the 3 tight end sets. This year they've run the least, or I don't know, half or a third of what they ran last year because they don't have Hayden Hurst.
And they've run 3 tight end sets.
0 3 tight end sets. Last year it worked out tremendously because they had just literally 2 extra blockers right there. Mm-hmm. 2 extra blockers right there on top of their line, and they could do a lot more of those, misdirection,
RPOs.
Yeah, exactly. And now, every time I see Lamar do a pirouette right after the snap, I want to throw something. Like, he's just like set hut, and then he's like, all right, now we're going to spin around, and then I'll pick which way I'm going to run. Like, it drives me absolutely insane. If you're going to do that,
that's part of play design, though.
I hate it. I hate it.
I don't like it either. I honestly feel that they need to put more stock into the passing game and
take the clipboard away from Roman, man.
Yeah, there has to be a change in the style of play because you're starting to see Lamar starting to suffer from this, and you're starting to depend on the run, and that's not a winning formula. And the defense isn't that good to carry a rushing team like that. This isn't the defense Ray Lewis led. This is led by Patrick Queen, who's a rookie. So you got to have a downfield threat. You got to start putting the ball vertically. You have the weapons to do it. You have a great tight end in Mark Andrews. You have a great deep threat in Marquise Brown. Just chuck the ball there.
Willie Snead's not terrible.
I'm kind of out on Willie Snead.
Bro, if I was the Bears, I'd take Willie Snead in a heartbeat. Okay. Bro, give me him.
Okay.
Give me him.
I could take
Willie. You see what I'm looking at? You see what I'm working with?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think he's perfect for the Bears.
I would take him. Absolutely. If I was the Bears, we need, who we need this week is fucking Gus Edwards. And that dude fumbled the ball. Dear God. Hey, Jacoby Myers, catch.
Money.
Let's go. We're going to be really wrong about Jacoby Myers tonight. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
He's going to really put one in our eye.
He's definitely the randomest person on the lineup, so he's going to stuff it.
Nah, who's Ozlowski? Ryan Izzo?
Yeah.
I think we can get random with it. We can get random with it. It's the Patriots. We got bus boys and cart boys and
baggers,
bartenders,
real estate agents.
I don't know. I feel like real estate's probably better. All right, so for the Colts, move over here. I mean, nothing that great, right? I mean,
no, not at all.
They spread the ball around. It was really interesting to see. Marcus Johnson got 7 targets. Michael Pittman Jr. got 7 targets.
Pascal got 6.
Yeah, they were spreading the ball around, but Rivers just meh.
He's not.
It's coming to an end soon, right? It's got to be.
He was the stopgap from the beginning, but he's doing way worse than anticipated. Because
man,
this is not the Philip Rivers that we saw in San Diego. I mean, we can't even say Los Angeles because he did terrible there, but San Diego, that Philip Rivers was a gunslinger. Here, he is. I would take Jacoby Brissett at this point.
I think they need to. I think Jacoby Brissett. I think the time has come. What else do we need to see here? Frank Reich who else can you blame at this point? You cannot be blaming your line. You cannot be blaming the injuries. Come on. And as a matter of fact, just give Brissett the shot. Just give him the shot.
I think Brissett deserves it.
I mean, they didn't do that bad with him last year. I mean, yeah, he's a game manager, but I think you need some more game management right now. I really do. They were in this game. It got away from them in the second half, but they were in it in the first, and they just needed a little bit more offense.
I was thinking about Jacoby Brissett. It sucks that he came directly after Andrew Luck. I wish Philip Rivers came directly after Andrew Luck to suck, because Jacoby Brissett would probably, if he had the same season he did last year that he did this year, you'd be like, oh my gosh, he's doing amazing right now. It kind of sucks the position that he's in, but you're right. Frank Wright has to have accountability and put Philip Rivers on a microscope and be like, dude, you are not leading this team to what you're supposed to.
Exactly. That's just good football, right? You got to make your guys accountable. I couldn't have said it any better. You have to make everyone respect each other in the locker room, and you can't do that if you're not
their jobs.
You can't do that if you're not holding someone, accountable, or not holding them to their own. If you're not keeping your own in this league, you're done, and that's it. I think the best line I have ever heard from Tom Brady is when he says, when you get that one snap, when you touch that field, you better make it count, because it may never happen again.
That's true.
This is that type of league. It's a revolving door type of league. One day you're in, the next day you're out. As the Patriots, they're in the red zone, getting down in there. It looks like they're about to set up a touchdown here, about to put points on the board. All right.
I'm really impressed with how Cam's passing the ball right now.
He's got a lot of time. He's got nothing but time right now.
Yeah.
Moving on here, Colts have the Titans up next. They're on Thursday Night Football. Any early pick there?
L.
Yeah, I think they're taking the L there. I think you're right. I'm not looking forward to the Colts on Thursday night. Next up, Jaguars and the Texans. Texans won. They got it done for me. Cam Newton rushing to the right, going to take it to the end zone, rushing touchdown. Cam Newton. So we're halfway to the prop. We just need the Patriots win and Cam Newton, anytime rushing touchdown and a dub. Take it to the Hizzy, smash the like button, share the video. Let's go. Fire it up. I mean, we're here to give you value. Can we get a check-in on Braxton Berrios? Has he hit the prop yet?
Is he even in the lineup?
Oh, Berrios? Oh, he's in the lineup, bro. He's in the lineup. All right. Colts get to Titans on Thursday. We're going to be leaning on the Titans. I'm not sure the spread yet, so I can't tell you if the Colts are going to cover. Texans and the Jets. I had the Texans on the dub. Texans and Jaguars. Sorry, Texans could not cover, but got the win. That was cool. But Jake Luton season, what's up? It's here. 73-yard bomb, first play,
unbelievable.
First completion to DJ Shark, 73-yard bomb.
I've never been so sad on a touchdown.
Hey, come on. I called the Jake Luton.
It took 146 yards to get a 6-yard lead. Come on, that. Oh man, I was so depressed. But good for you, Justin. And
no, I'm just saying that Jake Luton. I was laser in on Jake Luton this week pregame.
Yeah, Jake Luton, he did show up. He made it a game for Deshaun Watson and the Texans. I really like what the Texans are doing with their offensive weapons. Now they're actually viable, and they're doing what everybody expects, the skill sets that they have. Will Fuller had 5 targets, 5 receptions, 100 yards, and a touchdown. Braden Cooks had 3 receptions, 83 yards for 1 touchdown. So these guys are starting to do what they're supposed to. So I'm really excited for Houston. And going forward, I think that these guys can be used.
You got to add Duke Johnson, right?
Yeah. Didn't David Johnson get hurt?
Concussion.
It sucks, man.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get the Duke going, but David Johnson's in concussion protocol. They pulled him early, so it's definitely something to monitor going forward. But yeah, Fuller, Cooks, Cobb, it's a pretty good combo right now, and they're just going to be trailing. So fantasy wise, it's going to be gravy. Chanel potentially hurt here, has an ankle injury. Is it ankle injury?
Something, I don't know. I just saw he was hurt. That's a real big bummer.
He has a shot to play in week 10, but if he doesn't, I think Chris Conley is going to be a nice piece. He had a pretty good game. I would say he was one of the winners of the Jake Luton arriving. Keelan Cole, one of the losers, I would say. Shark is obviously the biggest winner, bar none. But Conley with the Chanel injury, him and Luton look pretty solid together. And then obviously James Robinson is just him all the way. Just him all the way. Jaguars got the Packers next week. I did see them before they took him off the board. 14 points. Can the Jaguars cover 14 points on the road up against the Packers?
I think the Packers have a tendency to underestimate their opponents at times, and I think that this will be one of those games where the game's going to be a lot closer than expected. Yeah,
I think I might take that. I mean, Jake Luton coming off a 300 passing yard game. I mean, obviously, it's the Texans at the end of the day, but still, I could see potentially covering 14 points. We'll see what happens. Well, it's going to get closer. It's definitely that number is going to get trimmed. I don't think it's going to go up.
I mean, people could get COVID. So.
It's true. Absolutely. A.J. Dillon could be spreading it around. We don't know. For the Texans, the next week they get the Browns coming off a bye. What do you think in that game? Instant thoughts. I think Texans could get a win.
I think so.
I think it's going to be a competitive game.
It will be a very competitive game. I think Nick Chubb is coming back.
He's practicing. He's practicing.
So he's coming. Okay.
Follow it.
With Nick Chubb coming in, I'm going to say the Browns win, but it's going to be a hard-fought game.
Houston covers.
Houston covers.
We don't know what the cover is.
I don't care what the cover is.
But we'll get it. Houston's been looking good. They're just going to be passing a lot. If David Johnson's out there, Watson's going to pass 50 times, 55 times.
I mean,
it's going to be a ton of passing if David Johnson's out. Just saying.
32 times.
This week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Johnson still got some positive run, though. How much? Like 16 carries? Something like that?
Duke Johnson got 16. David Johnson got 2.
Yeah, not great. Let's see here. Next up, we had the Panthers and the Chiefs. Oh, beautiful game. Panthers covering the 10.5. That number was just not updated. Like, there was no CMC effect in that number. They're like, you know what? CMC's back. Nah, let's not change the number. Fuck it.
I mean, he got hurt.
Let's just lose some money. Well, he did a fuck ton before he got hurt, though.
He did.
A fuck ton before he got hurt.
It's sad when that happens.
I think the best meme I saw was, the Thanos meme. It's like, oh, you covered, but what did it cost? CMC.
Exactly.
CMC. Like, you lose by 2 still. You cover 10 points, but at the end of the day, like, you didn't even win the battle. And you're losing now. You're about to lose the war.
Listen to this target ratio. So Curtis Samuel got 9, had 9 receptions for 105 and a touchdown.
Crazy.
Christian McCaffrey had 10, 82 yards, touchdown. Roby Anderson had 13 targets, 9 receptions, 63 yards.
Ooh, Roby.
And then DJ Moore had 3 targets for 2 receptions, 18 yards.
May he rest in peace, DJ Moore.
You're not a part of the game plan, man.
Guys, if you can still sell. Like, yeah, I don't know when your trade deadline is, but you need to be finding out and getting rid of DJ Moore. Like, if CMC is going to be there, that dude is just going to be the low man on the totem pole. Like, I don't get it. He's got all the skill there, but Matt Rule, his son is Curtis Samuel. Like, if Cliff Kingsbury's son is Kyler Murray, then Matt Rule's son is Curtis Samuel. He's almost an interception. Joe Flacco seeing ghosts on a not cloudy evening. I saw someone said that. They're like, why the hell did they schedule the Jets and the Patriots on Monday Night Football? The guy's like scratching his head. He's like, oh, right. Because they thought Sam Darnold would be quarterbacking. They thought he would be in the game. And it's just a great bit of content to reference the ghost game. Mm-hmm. Makes a ton of sense. Like, how else were they going to sell this game?
Yeah.
Talk about the Ghostbusters. Like, yeah. That shit was hilarious. When Julian Edelman posted the Ghostbusters video the next day, oh my God, I was laughing my ass off. Panthers, they look good still, right? I mean, if CMC's healthy for week 10, I mean, they're going to need him. They're playing the Buccaneers. You're already picking the Panthers to win that game. I think it's a home run if CMC is there. I really don't know the severity of the shoulder injury. Do you have any info, any take? No?
I have no information, but even if CMC is out, I'm still taking the Panthers. Mm-hmm. They are fighting in every game. I think that they are one of the best up and coming teams in this league. And I think Matt Rule has put his stamp on the league.
Matt Rule's not looking too bad. He's not looking too bad.
The only criticism is get DJ Moore in the playbook, man. He has skills. Use them.
You do have DJ Moore there, sir, and you're not using him very well. As Frank Gore takes a nice run, showing the youthful legs. I love it. I love it. Very spry. I love it. I mean, what a waste of a perfectly good uniform. The Jets, like, look at those awesome green helmets. They look like Green Ranger-esque, like they molded the black and Green Ranger together, and it's just wasted on this talent. Like, man.
When Todd Bowles was there, I remember he had a shirt, and it was like he wore it on the sidelines, and I wanted it because it said Gotham City. I was like, that is so cool because they call it Gotham Green.
Oh, man. That's terrible. I almost just want to put that in like my Twitter hashtag, just in my profile, like Gotham Green. If it didn't mean this, anything but this, literally like anything but this.
It's sad.
The fuck, Matt Rule getting it done. He's looking good in Carolina, but yeah, you got to get DJ Moore the ball more. That's definitely going to be a talking point coming to the end of this season. If CMC is out this week, I mean, even if CMC isn't out this week, right now with what we know, you got to go add Mike Davis if he's available. He could have been dropped. He could have been dropped right away. People do crazy things, man. CMC's already banged up. It didn't even take 4 quarters. You got to have CMC roster, or not CMC, Mike Davis rostered, guys. He cannot be available on waivers. So definitely get him owned if he's not. Could have a very active role this week. I think, I was definitely one of the people that thought, okay, CMC comes back, less Curtis Samuel, still Mike Davis, right? Like that would be the kind of the game plan and the flow. It didn't.
Yeah,
it didn't. So when CMC's out, I'm going to be very reserved about my Mike Davis shares and starts. Going over to the Chiefs, wow, just wow. Patrick Mahomes is for real. He has entered the MVP conversation. I'm sorry, Russ. I mean, it's been looking great, but it's a steady as she goes type of award here, and
it's like an exponential graph. Like
exactly, like it's a flow chart, baby. It's a ride. It's a roller coaster, and right now, Patrick Mahomes has entered the room with this big win, throwing 4 touchdowns. Did he have 5 last week up against the Jets?
I think so.
Yeah, 5 up against the Jets last week, 4 this week. Obviously, the Jets game wasn't in contention, but this was a big win. The Chiefs were behind early. They came back. I mean, they were at home. They took care of business. They are who we thought they were, right? The team that rallies back, puts the points back on the board, applies the pressure to the Panthers. I mean, their defense, they allowed a lot of points, but they still looked really good. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, let's go, man. They have arrived the past 2 weeks.
Thank gosh. 18 targets, 9 receptions, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Tyreek Hill. Thank you for that stat.
18 targets, bro.
I know.
18 targets. Where did that come from?
Could have been like 200 yards.
It could have been 1 billion yards. Like, I did not understand where that volume came from. Obviously, Sammy Watkins not playing. That plays a role into Kelce and Hill's booming the past couple of weeks. But regardless, like, they've got Hardman there that's been hitting well. Demarcus Robinson scored a touchdown, right?
Good for him. Redemption.
Every squirrel finds a nut. Every blind squirrel finds a nut, right? Week 10 expectations. They got the Raiders on the books. I mean,
that's gonna be a hard fought game. That's a division game. Raiders are
already beat them.
Already beat them, but they're still coming in, and Patrick Mahomes is coming in hot. Hot! Oh my gosh, the Jets play perfect. What is that?
About to pooch one in their own red zone.
Oh
the Jets.
Don't even give them a high five.
That's true. Someone really should we should be more accountable as football players. Like, come over and be like, hey man, that was really bad.
Like, what the fuck happened?
You did good not turning it over, but what the hell, man? Like, that was really bad. Do better.
Did you hear that the Jets found cameras? That's wild.
I did. And then the Jets said the most Jets thing ever about it. So the players complained. If we'll give you some context, because I literally just cut Nick off there. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
So the Jets players found cameras hidden in their locker room behind fire alarms. Instantly, that's fucked up. We're a bunch of naked dudes slinging our dicks around, being naked and such, getting dressed, doing interviews. Come on now. We have privacy. Let us have some. Jesus. Bad enough as it is. And then just like hey, maybe our boss or company is spying on us, which is kind of like espionage. These people are dealing in millions and millions of dollars, and they're spying on their product. They're spying on their players. The Jets come out and say, oh, well, the players knew about those cameras because they were installed X amount of years ago. I think they said 2016. So they agreed for him to be there. The players just filed a complaint to the NFLPA. They didn't know they were there.
I heard that this also wasn't like the first incident. So
the first incident,
not like with the Jets, but like in the NFL.
Gase is selling dick pics to TMZ.
Oh man, that's how he's making his money. That's how it is. He's got an OnlyFans.
That's how he still has a job.
NFL slings. Here we go.
NFL Cabana.
Yeah, there we go.
Unreal. Yeah, that's seriously fucked up. I heard that literally just before we got on the show, and I was just like, the reaction face to me was just very like disturbed, like
shocked Pikachu.
Unreal.
Disgust.
And you got to start thinking about like, okay, who's the potential
clientele?
Who's the potential mastermind behind it? Like, is this Gase? Is this the GM? Is it like a pervert teammate? Like, I mean,
yeah, it's weird.
And the Jets are saying they know that they're there. The Jets say, oh yeah, we know that they're there. We put them there. The players agreed for them to be there. I don't remember what the causality is or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Super weird.
It sounds like Gase fired the person who does damage control, and he was just like, you know what? I'm just going to handle this. They knew about it.
I want to say so. Yeah, I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say the Jets were aware about that. They were they were filming their players. John Reed, shout out John Reed in the chat. John Reed, you're going to be getting your wrench real soon in that chat. You're going to be getting that wrench real soon. John Reed's showing up. Everybody show some respect. Put some on his name in the chat. He said, damn the dick pics. I mean, you got to make money somehow. I mean,
they got the butt fumble, and now they got the dick pics, and it's just like, what's going on here, guys?
The Jets are going to jet. Like that's just how it's going to go. Until Gary V gets in, this is just how it's going to be.
Yep.
That's just how it's going to be. There'd be cameras in the locker room for a different reason if Gary V was at the helm. All right, moving on. Lions Vikings. Really not that much to say about the Lions. I mean, I don't know why I said Sam Bradford. Matthew Stafford.
Jeez.
Tongue tire there. Matthew COVID Stafford. He made the start. He got into the game. No Kenny Galladay, but was able to spread the ball around.
Guess who got in? Our guy Chase Daniel. Good for him.
Got a touchdown.
Good for him.
He did get a touchdown. Stafford did get pulled in that game after his interception. Game was pretty much over at that point. Daniel gets in. Gets it to my boy Hawkinson for a touchdown. Hawkinson chugging along here. Steady she goes.
Marvin Jones
got his touchdown. Danny Amendola had some good value. Like
10 targets.
Not bad. 7 catches, 77 receiving yards. Like it was juicy for the targets, right? The running backs, not so much.
Mediocre.
Not even that, I would say. Like they needed to feed Swift more. Like they needed to get him involved. And I think he had like almost, what was it, over 80, 75 total yards, something like that?
He had 97 yards total.
Pretty good. Almost 100-yard day, but
one fumble.
Still, they could have fed him more. And maybe the fumbling issues, the drops, maybe he's just in the doghouse with Patricia. He's not getting used enough. There's no reason why Adrian Peterson should have 1 target, let alone 3 for 3 catches. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that does not need to be happening. Swift needs to be back there catching balls.
Adrian Peterson had 5 targets.
5 targets. I'm sorry. I thought he had 3. Like, that's even more irresponsible. That's more irresponsible. I hate it. The Lions, it's just a mismanaged product. Like, that's just, at the end of the day, that's what it is to me.
Who's more mismanaged, the Lions or the Jets? Because my thoughts on it,
I don't know, because I don't know what the Jets' actual goals are. If it's to win games, then they're on pace with their goal for sure.
I think that the Jets, at least you can see that the talent really isn't there. With Detroit, though, they got some dudes on offense, and it's just like
Kenny Galladay's in and out.
Matthew Stafford is a quarterback that can start on any NFL
team. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That's where
and he's in a bad place. And he's in a bad place. I feel really bad for Matthew Stafford. I mean, we could list off a ton of teams. Like, imagine the Broncos with Matthew Stafford. I mean, no disrespect to Drew Lock.
No.
I love Drew Lock.
We're just playing a replacement game right now.
Yeah, but Matthew Stafford on the Broncos, like, come on.
Jerry Jeudy would have like 200 yards.
Even without Sutton. Yeah, exactly. Jerry Jeudy would be 120 yards every week, man. Like, that dude would be getting fed the rock.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, and I like Drew Lock as an up-and-comer, but, like, and we'll get to them in a little bit. Just not there, not consistent. Matthew Stafford is a guy in the right spot. He could be taking your team to a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Matthew Stafford on the 49ers? Come on.
Oh, my gosh. If Matthew Stafford was on the 49ers, they would be 8-0.
They would be. Well,
No, well, okay.
8-0 is a big ask.
Debo's hurt.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a big ask.
Kittle's hurt. Well, let's just say everybody's healthy.
We'll say winning record.
I would say a strong winning record.
Yeah, I would say so. But yeah, the Lions, the receivers there, great, juicy, and I think that just comes from the pace of play, right? They're always behind. They're always playing. In garbage time. So keep firing those guys up. I think Marvin Hall, he was a disappoint this week. No.
Yeah, he had 5 targets, 3 receptions, 28 yards.
Sorry, guys. I mean, and we kind of warned you about that. I mean,
we both wanted Marvin Jones, I believe.
Yeah, we both said we were higher on Marvin Jones. I mean, we sprinkled in Danny Amendola, the Marvin Hall talk a little bit, but I think Amendola, the biggest surprise there. The biggest surprise for the Lions this week. Hopefully you guys were able to grab some value there. With the Vikings, Dalvin just continues to destroy this league. He's literally putting up, 500 yards, or not 500, 400 yards the past 2 weeks, 5 total touchdowns. Absolutely ridiculous numbers. Can he continue the pace this week up against the Bears in week 10?
No, not the Bears.
I think he can get 100 total yards, and that's about it, rushing and receiving.
I think he will have 100 rushing, but that's just because he's so good. But he's not going to have a game like he's been having these past 2 games. The Bears defense is really, really fucking good.
Call me crazy, but I think that the tight ends for the Vikings this week are going to have success at once more. Irv Smith had 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. I think Rudolph had 3 or 4 catches this week. I mean, Thielen and Jefferson were right there with Rudolph.
So against the Bears, I'm going to say no. Irv Smith had 2 touchdowns, 10 yards on 2 receptions. Kyle Rudolph, 3 receptions, 60 or 40 yards. I just don't see that happening. The linebackers of the Bears are a lot better. So I don't see the same kind of production happening. Maybe Justin Jefferson or Adam Thielen goes off. I mean, that's absolutely possible.
That's what I was going to say. It's like I would think that next week up against the Bears, it would be the tight ends rather than the receivers, because the receivers they've taken a big dip recently, Thielen and Jefferson. So I could see one of them going off. Like one, but not both, and then maybe one of the tight ends. But I think it's going to be a check week for Dalvin Cook. I think if at best he gets 100 rushing or 100 total yards and a touchdown, if he gets the touchdown.
Okay, so think about this: is the way that I would look at if I was the Bears defensive coordinator is the receivers have been going down and the tight ends are popping right now, but Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen they could start anywhere in the NFL. So
yeah. I mean, they're going to stretch the field for sure.
I'm going to say that I don't know. Like it's kind of hard to determine, but I think that the receivers will have more success for some reason.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, they're better players, right? Like Thielen and Jefferson is, stats wise, like they've been the guys there this year. It's just when I see, was it Rudolph 3 for 4, 40 yards, Justin Jefferson 3 for 4, 64. We're talking about Kirk Cousins. Less is more. I don't think that attack's going to work up against the Bears, but I think he's got to throw 35 times if they want to win. Speaking of which, can they get a win up against the Bears?
No, they're not going to get a win. The reason,
goddamn Bears.
I think the reason why is because I think that the defense of the Bears in the middle is very soft. I think if they attack the middle with deeper routes with the receivers, I think that they will have success. But it's the Chicago's Bears defense. Yeah. It's going to be very hard.
I was going to say getting to those routes, the time going to be very difficult for Kirk Cousins.
You got Khalil Mack breathing down your neck every single play. So good luck, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantasy wise, it's going to be tough pickings there going up against the Bears. For the Vikings, like I said, I think one of those receivers might have a day. I think Dalvin Cook is going to be respectable, but I think he's going to be halted in his tracks from the record-breaking production that he's had the past 2 weeks. I think the Vikings will probably cover in that game. I think they're going to do better than people anticipate, because here we go. Buckle up. Bears versus the Titans. I don't understand. I do not understand Matthew Nagy. Nagy.
Oh, no, he broke out the full name. Uh-oh.
He is not special. Stand down, Bears fans. He is not special, and Nagy has got to go. Unless he is willing to hand off the clipboard, here you go. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm not the play caller I thought I was. Show some accountability. Show some maturity. Really, in my opinion, stand some ground to keep your fucking job. Because at the end of the year, like right now, the Bears don't have the record to say, hey, sir, excuse us. We're gonna go a different direction. Today's going to be your last day. here's the door. Don't let it hit you. Where the good Lord split you, okay? We don't have that luxury right now. If the luxury. We have a winning record. Dear fucking Christ. I'm talking about firing the coach and we're 5-3. It's driving me nuts. 3 quarters, no points. 4th quarter, you put up 17. How dare you? How dare you, Foles? How dare you, Nagy? Put me through that fucking heart attack. Oh, we're going to try to cover now. Oh, I see. Sure. My lock of the week, Houston Texans win. Bears cover 6.5. Nah. Montgomery, concussion protocol. No efficiency on the ground whatsoever. The offensive line was like, you know what? Fuck it. This defensive line, they're not great, but you know what? Fuck it. The Titans are who we thought they were. A not very good defense. We saw that in the 4th quarter. Why couldn't we see it in 3 more? It's driving me fucking crazy. Can't run the ball. You pass it to everybody in the 4th quarter. Everybody's lighting up. Oh, Mooney, box score, great. Oh, Anthony Miller. Oh, respectable box score. Oh, Robinson, still a fantasy option. No win. What do you got?
Yeah, the offense for the Bears is pretty inept.
Inept. Fucking dead in the water.
Foles had 36 completions for 52 attempts, 335 yards, 2 touchdowns. When you look at that, just like the eye test, hey, okay game, but it's a struggle. And like Justin said, it happened a lot in the 4th quarter, a lot of it in garbage time. You guys can't put 4 quarters together. It's hard, and your defense is literally carrying you to be in these games. And you guys cannot make one more possession.
One possession. That's how. Yeah, I mean the Titans. Their offense has been great. Has been great. Good. We held them to 24. That's in my eyes. That's perfectly fine. This is a team you can put 30 on, Nagy. Come on, 30.
I agree.
Their defense is terrible. Desmond King, he played a respectable amount. He was like 54% of the snaps or something like that, but he wasn't a difference maker. Foles was cutting these guys up in the 4th quarter. Come on.
You want to hear a sad stat, Chicago Bears fans? So the Titans have spent like $40 million to upgrade their pass rush with Jadeveon Clowney and Vic Beasley, who was just released.
They can't do anything.
They got absolutely 0 pass rush, so 0 sacks. So even with those 2 guys not producing like that, their top pass rushers, you still couldn't pull out a win. Like you have the weapons, you have the guys. Like
we got the ball at the 48-yard line. Positive side of the field. A minute 48 left in the half. We couldn't put up a field goal. We're going for it on 4th and 1. Positive side of the field. What happens? False start. 4th and 6. We're going to go for it. Nagy's like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going for it. Berrios almost hits the prop. Matt Nagy says, you know what? 4th and 6. All right. You know what, guys? I believe in you. You know, we need a win here. This is a momentum swing. Let's go for it. Another false start. Are you kidding me? Driving me up a wall, the Chicago Bears. The Vikings are a get-right game. If we don't, punt it. I'm serious. Punt it. Get rid of it. 5-4 if we lose to the Vikings. The Vikings
5-4 at that point. Damn.
We'll be 5-4. The Vikings will be a game out or a game behind the Bears at that point. They'll be 4-5 if they win this week. I'm losing my mind, Matt Nagy. Figure it out or hand the clipboard off. Anyways, I'm really liking the Titans this week up against the Colts. They're going to be really good on Thursday night. Go Derrick Henry. Give me all of him in this upcoming week. Expecting big things from him. Feel really bad for Corey Davis owners. I went up against Corey Davis. He laid a goose egg up against me. Thank you, sir. Respect. Been putting some on your name. Appreciate you giving some back. Don't hate that. A.J. Brown still took care of business for the Titans. Not too bad,
that was
right?
Like 75% of Tannehill's production.
I went up against Tannehill as well. Again, sir, thank you. Putting some respect on your name. You gave it right back. Not laying an egg, but
close enough.
It wasn't QB 1 week egg for Tannehill. That's for sure. So yeah, absolutely loving the Titans this coming week on Thursday Night Football. All right. Now that I've got my gripes out of the way, how about the football team?
I got nothing to gripe about. It's pretty much expected.
Alex Smith in the lineup.
It's sad that it got to that point. I saw the injury.
I got to do it. I'm getting the Alex Smith jersey in the offseason, dude.
Go ahead.
I said it. I have to. I by legal right of the camera, I have to buy the Alex Smith jersey. I mean, not NFL.com, but
Yeah. The only 2 guys that are worth anything on Washington is Terry McLaurin and Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson seems to be
J.D. McKissick, make $1 holler.
No.
Look at those targets. Alex Smith in there. Alex Smith is going to be dinking and dunking to J.D. McKissic. He had like 14 targets.
Oh my god,
it's crazy.
But for 65 yards, like,
hey, bro, 7 catches is 7 catches. That's all love and fantasy.
Catches.
That's all love and fantasy.
He had 9 catches.
9? I thought he had 7. Fuck, this beautiful thing, baby. I love it. Dink and dunk. ABC 1, 2, 3. I'll take it all day. I'm firing up J.D. McKissic next week. They're going up against the Lions. I'm firing him up. I do think it'll be a big week for Gibson because Gibson is, to the end zone. The Jets. Who got it?
Perriman.
Rashad Perriman from Joe Flacco. Man, how does that feel? Patriots defense. Joe Flacco.
50 yards.
From his wheelchair. Literally. My God. He was sitting down throwing that ball. My goodness. I even thought I saw some wobble on the come down there. My goodness. Joe Flacco. Showing the youth in his arm. This thing still got some rubber band in it. Watch this. Gotcha. Who is that? Is that J.C. Jackson? J.C. Jackson, do better. Come on, J.C. Jackson, do better. Come on, bruh. Jets going up 10-7. All right, let's see what we get here.
I got 120 points on Thrive for the anytime touchdown by Rashad Perriman because I took it.
Bang. Tommy's got his eyes up. Tommy's eyes up. Tommy Two Socks got 2 eyes up. Football team, Alex Smith. I mean, he's a waiver wire ad if you're in like 14 team, 2 quarterbacks. I mean, you're just like a revolving door if you're at the bottom, looking at the outside into the playoffs. Guys on bye, injured. If you somehow had Kyle Allen in your lineup, right? Alex Smith up against the Lions. I just want to see good things happen. That's it.
I agree.
What about Cam Sims?
I would do $1 holler on him.
I am pretty positive that my opponent this week started Steve Sims Jr. because he thought he was Cam Sims.
It sucks.
Like, I'm pretty positive that was the case.
Kind of like my Marquez Callaway, Antonio Callaway.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty positive that was the case because Steven Sims Jr. hasn't done anything since like week 2.
Yeah, he says he came back from injury.
He hasn't done anything since week 2. Like, and he didn't do anything this week. He had like a catch.
1 for 4.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was like, why?
Cam was 3 for 110.
Yeah, it was pretty solid. So Cam Sims, can you add him going forward?
Yeah,
I think he can make a $1 holler in some deep leagues. It was an interesting play from him this week. I liked what I saw. He was popping off the tape.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Mack, just doing Terry Mack things. Gibson finds the end zone, but not a ton of rushing yards there. It was all McKissic, man. He was the running back this week. And they got a nice little 1-2 tandem there. As long as Peyton Barber doesn't come in and steal touches, then we're cool.
Yeah.
That dude starts getting carries. Then I start getting angry. Then I start throwing stuff. Get off the field. You don't belong here. I got J.D. McKissic for free this week. He sat on my bench. I was really mad I sat him over Philip Lindsay.
It's a bummer. Oh, man, Philip Lindsay. That's a bummer.
He was still getting touches, too. I didn't get it. Like, I thought he got hurt because he wasn't playing for a while. He wasn't doing anything. Yeah. I'm like, man, he probably got hurt. Let me check in on the game. And I check in. I'm like, no, he's there. And they're just not running the ball. Just another team this week that just was like, you know what? Fuck the run. We don't need to do that. Let's throw a lot. We don't want to win. Yeah, I didn't understand it either. With the Giants, shout out Tommy, Giants fan. Dan Jones, he's meh, but they got the job done.
I am out on Darius Slayton. I have started him, and he has done nothing but give me goose egg after goose egg after goose egg. I'm out.
Austin Mack. Done. Can we get an Austin Mack take from Tommy here?
Yeah, give me a. I do know that when he went from high school to college at Ohio State, he was the first freshman to actually have the black stripe removed, which means that you're part of the team now. So since then, haven't honestly heard shit about him. So surprised that he made it to the NFL. Mm-hmm. He went 5 targets for 4 receptions, 72 yards, no touchdown, but still got some good yardage. That yard should have gone to Darius Slayton.
Golden Tate inactive too. Like they're just sitting.
Cut him.
They should
cut him.
He liked the tweet of someone talking about the Giants cutting him.
Yeah.
Like, cut him.
Tack McKinley just cut.
Yeah, cut him. Just cut the thread. I mean, maybe they're going to owe him money, and that's why. I don't know. Like, Max should overtake Golden Tate role, right? I mean, that's what we're thinking here, Tommy. I mean, that's what we saw this week.
Astute. That was an astute take. Good take. I didn't think about that.
I could absolutely see it. So I'm putting Austin Mack on the waiver watch this week. I think you got to go and get a piece of this guy.
He had more success than Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard got 8 targets.
Maybe don't break out the bag for him. You know, maybe don't spend a ton on Austin Mack, but I think he is someone you need to look at in the waiver wire here.
Yeah.
Next up, who they got next week? Giants got the Eagles. It's a pretty similar matchup, I feel like, to the football team. Good rush defense, poor secondary. I'm expecting pretty similar numbers, I think, for this coming week for the Giants.
NFC East football sucks.
Can the Giants get a win? It's an NFC East game. Can they get a win?
No.
No? Well, didn't they play each other?
I think they did win against the Eagles, but I don't think they're going to win this week.
I don't have it up. Who's at home? Maybe Tommy can. Tommy, if you want to jump into the chat, your take. Giants versus the Eagles this week. I'm not sure who the home team is. I just know the matchup. But I'm thinking something similar, like a 23-17 type of game. Win, lose either way, Giants or Eagles. Similar type of pace of play. Next up, big stinker for me this week. I was all in on the Broncos. Why'd you have to get me excited, Drew Lock? Like, man, coming off a career game, he still puts up 3 touchdowns in this game, which pissed me off because, the Broncos, apparently, they just want fourth quarter points. That's their thing, fourth quarter points. I don't get it. They're into it, though. Their parents don't get it. I don't. Broncos couldn't score a touchdown till the fourth quarter, 21 fourth quarter points. Let me see. Let me pull up the stats here. Lindsey, Gordon, they don't do anything whatsoever. Tim Patrick, Judy, they look good. They got it done.
So did Hamler, 75 yards on 6 receptions. He did get 10 targets, so that's good.
Mm-hmm. Hamler, a name you got to watch in the waivers for sure.
So Tim Patrick, Jerry Jeudy, and KJ Hamler all got over 9 targets, so that's really good.
Solid for fantasy.
Really sucks Albert O's out.
That does suck.
If Noah Fant can stay healthy, though, that means his stock goes up. But
1 catch, 32 yards, locker room, get out. Did you see it? You hurt his ankle?
Yeah, I did see that.
Thank goodness he came back, though.
Yeah, he finished with 3 for 45.
Not terrible. Not terrible considering the case.
Really happy with Jerry Jeudy. He does need to work on the drops, though. He has had issues with the drops. He only had a 50% catch percentage this week. So if he got that up, he'd be considered one of the top offensive rookies in the league. Mm-hmm. So I'm hopeful. It's only his first year. So I would play everybody that starts in Denver. Even Philip Lindsay.
I don't feel that bad about this week about Lindsay. I mean, to me, it was just the game script.
It just happens.
Yeah,
sometimes
they were down. They had to be passing the ball a lot. It's a fucking big bug right in front of my feet. I want to hit it. I can't. Yeah, get away from me, bug. I mean, I like everybody there. Give me Judy. Give me Hamler. Give me Terry or Tim. I keep calling him Terry. Tim Patrick. Give me Lindsey. Give me Gordon. And yeah, Drew Lock. I mean, like, I don't hate it. I don't hate him. I just wish he would have gotten the win. I was in on the Broncos just straight up upsetting plus 175. No, not getting it done. Not taking care of business. Drew Lock on the road. Come on, man. Killing me.
I think Drew Lock, the way he plays now, is very similar to how John Elway played when he first came in. John Elway was, very highly touted coming in.
I've heard some Steve Young comparisons to Drew Lock.
I think that's well, Steve Young did not have much success in his first couple of years because he was with Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. But an interesting stat, I saw something was through the first 52 games or something like that. Jameis Winston is actually, it was number of interceptions at your 100th throw for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. So at 100, John Elway actually had 99. At 100, Jameis Winston had 68. And it was just very interesting. We all talk about how bad Jameis is, but these quarterbacks that we talk about how they were elite and how they're Hall of Fame, if you think about their careers, Elway, he didn't have much success. He had got to the playoffs a lot of years, but didn't have Super Bowl success until his last 2 years. So I don't know. Sometimes I think about some guys are given the chance to mature and really go through the grinder, while other guys it's if you're not this, you're out. Like Jameis Winston, Mm-hmm. Just kind of an interesting take.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I don't hate the Steve Young comparisons. 7 carries, 47 yards, touchdown.
Oh yeah. I didn't even see the rushing attack.
Yeah,
Shit.
that's what I'm saying. He had 3. Mobile. He had 3 total touchdowns in this game. He had 3 touchdowns last week.
Wow, yeah, that's a good comparison because Steve Young was a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, I don't hate those comparisons. I mean, I think it's a little rich. I think it's
premature,
a little early. Yes, I agree. Yeah, that's the next words out of my mouth. So yeah, I like those guys going forward though. Give me Lindsey, give me Gordon, the receivers that we mentioned, and please, Lord, get Noah Fant healthy, please. Oh my goodness. All right, last game up: Seattle and the Bills. Man. Seattle, a team I had a couple of tickets. I had a couple of tickets with the Birds from out west. Not great. Josh Allen, he put one in my eye. Josh Allen had not thrown for, I'll just take it from the top. Last 3 games, Josh Allen, only 2 passing touchdowns. The last 3 games, only 2 passing touchdowns. He had 4 this week.
He had 3 passing, 1 rush.
Oh, I'm sorry, 4 total. 3 this week, 2 the previous 3 weeks total. He just put one on me. I was cold on Allen. Didn't think he was going to be, the Allen from weeks 1 through 4. He showed up. He's back. I don't know about entering the MVP conversation with Pat Mahomes, but he put one on him. Diggs, Brown, both had 10-plus targets. They looked great. Isaiah McKenzie had a touchdown. The Bills didn't want to run. They barely run the ball. Moss did have a rushing touchdown, but they barely ran the ball.
You know what's a concerning stat? 7 sacks on Josh Allen and also 5 on Russell Wilson.
He didn't even
Very
care.
concerning.
Allen doesn't even care.
I mean, Allen's a big body, but it's just concerning, 7 sacks. Imagine if they only had 2 sacks or 3 sacks.
Absolutely. And the Bills only won this game by 10. Russ Wilson had to turn the ball over 4 times to lose by 10. 2 fumbles lost, 2 interceptions to lose by 10 points. Not very MVP like Russ. Sorry, bruh. You got to go on the road and win big games. He was keeping the pace of play going. Russ and company, they were playing to the Bills' tune, but they just too little, too late. Just not enough. 1 too many turnovers. Literally cut that in half. You got to win.
I fully believe
cut that in half. You got to win. Seattle, they couldn't really run the ball. I mean, that's really, in my opinion, how you attack the Bills. You really put the ball on the ground. If Chris Carson's in this game, it's a different story. I really believe that. I firmly believe if Chris Carson's in this game, it's a win for Seattle. Just a rough go of it for me. But I'm gonna be a little sharper going forward on the Bills. I'm gonna be a little more hesitant trying to bet them on the money line. I mean, Seattle still didn't cover 3 points, but regardless, good wake up call from Josh Allen on the Bills.
Even with the loss, though, everybody's still viable. I would still play Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously. But if Chris Carson is in, I would still play DJ Dallas. He still got a touchdown.
Yep.
I would like to see more volume out of him, but touchdown's good.
Mm-hmm.
I would obviously play DK. David Moore, if you need a receiver, he's a third option there. Tyler Lockett got 7 targets, but only 4 receptions. So, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Olsen, kind of out on, though. Only 2 receptions, 13 yards. He's just kind of there to be a blocker.
Him and Hollister, it's like a week-to-week thing.
Or Disley.
Yeah, exactly. Like which one's going to go? It's kind of like that.
I would play Hollister over all of them because Hollister was 7 for 5 for 60.
Yeah, but look at the previous weeks. You won't like what you see.
Oh, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's one of those situations. 3 = 0. If you don't have one, you have none. That's just the way it is sometimes. Is New England taking for Trevor Lawrence? They can't catch up.
I do not
they can't
see.
Catch up.
Well, they got 2 wins. Yeah, I don't see.
They can't catch up. Yeah.
I don't see New York having 2 wins on the season.
No, I think the Patriots have more than 2 wins.
We have 2 wins. I just saw it right there.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I still don't think they can catch them regardless. I think they got a couple more wins in them still this year. And regardless, Jags are down there. You got plenty of other 2-6 teams, 2-7 teams that are chasing. So, yeah, it's just not going to happen.
The whole NFC East.
They would have to trade, like Gilmore and a pick, someone like they'd have to make a move to move up some spots.
What about
it's not the Patriot way.
What about Gilmore going to the Jets for the 2nd pick and reviving Revis Island instead of Revis Island to Gilly Lock?
No. I like that though. I like the name, but no. Just not going to happen. I don't think that trade happens within the division.
Yeah,
just
true shit.
Yeah, just not there for me. Yeah, who we got up next for Seattle? Who did they have up? The Rams up next for Seattle. Going to be a good game. A lot of offense. I'm going to like it.
I see a lot of offense coming out of that.
A lot of offense. Even with the Rams upsides on defense, I still see a really fun game there. Hammer the over. Going to be a good one. Bills with the Cardinals. We were kind of talking about that earlier. Cardinals going to be coming into a spot. I'm going to be liking the Bills. But I'm going to just based off of what I saw here. So let's see here. We got the Jets. They are in scoring position. We'll finish out this drive here. They're at 3rd and 8. So probably going to be kicking it. I'm going to bet. We'll see what we get. Tommy's getting excited because they're moving the ball, and the Jets have scored 10.
The over.
So yeah, Tommy's getting excited. His eyes are up. They were saying that Giants and Eagles game is looking like it's going to be at home for the Giants, I believe. I'm trying to get back to the statement here. Oh, that was Tommy was in there earlier than I thought. I think that John Reed gave the projected score of 23-20 Giants. So I gave the 23-17. Either way, doesn't really matter. So we're going to be pretty close to that. And yeah, they're at the Giants. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants there again. Their defense has been looking good. Tommy referenced that in the chat. I kind of brought that up a couple of weeks ago that they were getting right on defense, healthy. The starters are there.
David about the Giants.
Yeah, like
Blake Martinez is coming in too.
Yeah,
he's looking really good.
He's been solid all year. The rest of them, to me, have been the question marks. You know, Jabril Peppers has been solid.
I love Jabril Peppers, man. I've been talking him up since he came into the league.
Absolutely, you've been talking him up all season. Flacco going up top. 4th and 8.
That was to Mims too.
Yep. Don't hate it, but it was all contested. There was nobody.
What do
there.
you mean I overthrew the ball?
I only got 8 more of these rubber band throws, guys. Come on now. I only got 8 more snaps of the elbow. I need you to catch one of these. Let's go for a fake here. Let's go for a fake on 4th and 8, huh?
Remember that fake?
Something to keep the kids excited.
Remember the fake that happened where the holder flipped the ball over to the kicker and the kicker ran for a touchdown? Man,
over the back.
That year of football sucked ass because every team wanted to try that.
Every team in Madden, every team in online Madden was trying to do that shit.
Oh yeah, it's just like
that shit was annoying.
God.
Speaking of fake punts, Barcavius Mingo, shout out to that dude for the Bears. Had a great fake punt, got a first down. One of the few the Bears had that day.
Big dub.
He got 11 rushing yards on that attempt. It took David Montgomery about 8 more to exceed that number.
A brownie face.
Just to give you a sense of how things are looking for the running game in Chicago. It's gravy.
He got paid to run the ball?
Bro, I absolutely hate it. It drives me nuts. And I don't know how to help him. I don't know how to help David Montgomery. I think on Pro Fantasy Football, he is still the 9th most efficient running back. How?
What a horrible year for rushing.
How? It's because he's catching the damn ball. It's crazy. Just throw the ball to David Montgomery if he's even there. They're out of running backs. In Chicago. They've got Cordell Patterson, wide receiver turned running back. They've got Ryan Nall, scored a touchdown this week. Adam, I guess, if you need him. I don't know. Ryan Nall, Alfred Morris. What's another running back here? Kalen Ballage. I can't believe I'm saying these names.
No, he's already in Los Angeles.
I'm saying Adam this week in fantasy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying these names to add. You know, Alfred Morris. Well, what did he have this week for? Jesus, who is he?
I think it was 30 yards. I forgot what team he was on because I remember saying something like, "Oh shit, Alfred Morris is back."
No, Alfred Morris was doing stuff. Guys that you need to be looking at. It's absolutely crazy that I'm even saying those names. Was it Salvin Ahmed?
Oh yeah,
Taysom Hill. Even if you're really hurting a running back, well, I guess you can't start Taysom Hill at running back, but it'll flex.
It flex it.
It'll flex him. I don't know. All right, we're going to be shutting it down here. This was Take It to the Hizzy, number 68. Jets just ended the drive, so we're going to be punching the ticket here. Hopefully you guys all had an excellent week 9. Again, bad in the bets, good in the fantasy for me. You were, 1-1 in fantasy?
1-1.
Not too bad. And you made your money back in DFS, so most weeks, that's all we can really ask for.
Yep.
If you can't punch the big ticket and take it to Hizzy, win 100K, you might as well make it.
Fight another week.
Yeah, exactly. Live to fight another day. You got anything to close it out?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Be well. We'll see you Thursday.
Thank you. Bye.